If you fall asleep just fine, but then jolt awake at around 3 in the morning, night after night, staring at the ceiling while your mind starts racing, I want you to know two things. First, you are far from alone. This is one of the most common sleep complaints after 60. And second, it is usually not random, and it is usually fixable. There are specific, understandable reasons your body wakes you in the small hours, and once you know them, you can address them one by one and give you the practical steps to finally sleep through the night again. I'm Dr. Sonia, an emergency physician, and I've talked with countless older adults who've quietly accepted broken sleep as just part of aging. It doesn't have to be. Poor sleep isn't only miserable. It affects your memory, your mood, your blood sugar, your blood pressure, and your immune system. So getting this right is one of the most valuable things you can do for your whole body. The good news is that small changes often make a big difference. Quick thing first, if you want clear, science-based health information made for your age, subscribing helps me reach more people who need it. It's free and it takes a second. This point specifically, your sleep runs in cycles, and in the first half of the night, you get most of your deep, heavy sleep. But in the second half, in the early morning hours, your sleep naturally becomes lighter and you pass more easily into near waking. At the same time, your body begins its early morning rise in a hormone called cortisol, your natural wake-up signal, which starts climbing in those pre-dawn hours. This point, you're in the lightest sleep of the night just as your alerting hormone is rising. That's the window where any small disturbance can tip you fully awake. Now let me give you the specific triggers and the fix for each, because this is where you get your nights back. The first and one of the most overlooked is a blood sugar dip. If your blood sugar falls too low in the middle of the night, your body releases stress hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol, to raise it. And those hormones wake you up, often with a racing heart or a feeling of being wide awake. This is more likely if your dinner was heavy in refined carbs and sugar, which spike your blood sugar and then let it crash hours later. The fix is to eat a balanced dinner with protein, healthy fat, and fiber, rather than a sugary or very starchy one. And if you tend to wake hungry or wired, a small protein-based snack before bed, like a few nuts or a spoon of plain yogurt, can keep your blood sugar steady through the night. The second trigger is stress and a busy mind, driven by that cortisol rise. When you wake and immediately start worrying, or check the clock and calculate how little sleep you have left, you spike your stress hormones further and guarantee you'll be up. The fix has two parts. During the day and evening, build in a genuine wind down. Dim the lights, put away the screens, and do something calming for the last hour so you go to bed with a lower baseline of stress. And in the moment, when you wake, do not look at the clock and do not lie there fighting it. If you're still awake after about 20 minutes, get up, keep the lights very dim, and do something boring and quiet. Read a dull book until you feel sleepy, then go back to bed. Watching the clock and struggling only trains your brain to wake. The third trigger is your changing melatonin. As you age, your body produces less melatonin, the hormone that keeps you asleep, and your whole sleep rhythm can drift earlier, which is part of why you fall asleep early and wake early. The fix is to strengthen your natural rhythm with light. Get bright light, ideally sunlight, in the morning and during the day, which anchors your body clock, and keep your bedroom truly dark and free of screens at night, because the blue light from phones and televisions suppresses what melatonin you have. A dark, cool, quiet room supports deeper, more continuous sleep. The fourth trigger is alcohol. Wake up. The fix is simply to avoid alcohol in the hours before bed and see how your nights change. For many people, this alone solves it. The fifth trigger is needing to use the bathroom. which becomes more common with age and can be the thing that fully wakes you in that light sleep window. The fix is to reduce fluids in the last 2 to 3 hours before bed. Limit caffeine and alcohol, which both increase urination. And if this is frequent or new, mention it to your doctor because it can have treatable causes. And the sixth is temperature. Your body needs to cool slightly to stay in deep sleep. And a room that's too warm or heavy bedding can push you into that lighter, wake-prone sleep. The fix is a cool bedroom and breathable bedding. Most people sleep best in a room that feels almost slightly cool. Let me tie this into a simple plan. Set a consistent sleep and wake time, even on weekends, to anchor your rhythm. Get morning light. Keep the last hour before bed calm, dark, and screen-free. Eat a balanced dinner, skip the late alcohol, and ease off fluids before bed. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. Don't check the clock and don't panic. Rest quietly, and if you're still awake after 20 minutes, get up briefly in dim light until you're sleepy again. Wake-ups become shorter and rarer. Let me bring it together. M happens because your sleep is naturally lightest then, just as your cortisol begins to rise, and small triggers tip you awake. A blood sugar dip, stress, low melatonin, alcohol, a full bladder, or a too warm room. Fix them with a balanced dinner and maybe a small bedtime protein snack, a genuine wind down and no clock watching, morning light and a dark, cool room, no evening alcohol, and fewer fluids before bed. Sleeping through the night is not a lost cause after 60. It's a rhythm you can rebuild. M. I'm Dr. Sonia. See you in the next one.